Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Fishy Friday. Favorite day of the week. Absolutely favorite day of the week. We've got lots to talk about tonight, and I don't know where to start. Let's do the Tracy update real quick.
But first,
Okay.
for all that,
Why tell me to take over and do it if you tell me no?
I like telling you no. All right, so you see in our pretty little hands here, we have our Ohio Fish Rescue glasses off our logo on the front, Stay Fishy on the back.
And it's nice and frosty on the top of the Stay Fishy, white capped.
So for those of you that already have it, welcome. And for those of you that don't, what are you doing?
Where's yours at? Okay, so now you think of the word for tonight. You guys being more than likely to give him some hints for the word you guys want for the night. I'll do the Tracy update while you guys are thinking of that. Let me find the Tracy slide. There we go. There she is. Look at her. Miss her so much. She's such a sweetheart. Okay, all this week she had to go to the hospital. It was, I believe, Monday. She had really bad liquid number 2. It was she was getting sick, and come Monday she was getting dehydrated, and then all the stuff that we suction out of her lungs was getting thicker and thicker, so she was getting dehydrated, and it was hard to suction her out, and she wasn't coughing no more. Usually, as soon as you go in the trach, she'd feel it and cough. Now I was going all the way down and bottoming out. She wasn't coughing. I mean, I'm trying to force her to cough to get some of the fluid out of her lungs. It was just thickening up, So we had to take her into the hospital, which they changed her food while she was there, which of course, you're killing me, Josh.
Just keep talking.
Which of course made her have, if you ever change a puppy's diet, guess what happens? Number 2 is all bad. So that got worse. So we got her back home. The trach tube had actually gone down into her intestine. So here, what I did was because I'm trying to not have her go to the hospital, I deflated it. I took 9 centimeters out of saline of the balloon, and then I pulled and pulled and pulled, and then it finally released and it came out 4 inches. So I marked a line on there and then pushed the ring back down to it, and it's out. Then she had to go to the hospital anyway, so the doctors checked on its placement, made sure it's all good, and it is. They put some liquid into her, injected it through her feed tube, and from the liquid, they could tell it was going into the stomach. So I did a good job. I got it out of her intestine, which has happened like 3 times before. So I just noticed that the tube was getting shorter, it looked like. So anyways, I couldn't pull it out, and it was just all bad. So I did that, and I'm thinking, yes, she don't have to go to the hospital, but then she ended up getting sick and had to go to the hospital anyway. We've had her home since, and she's doing much better. She's got this look of content on her face, a lot better. Mara, poor Mara, she worked the whole weekend of Chicago or Aquachella, and she slept here because I hired a babysitter to watch Tracy at night, where I'd call from the hotel room. I stayed up all night in Aquachella. And I'd call every, hour. It's time to reposition her. It's time to suction her. And the poor babysitter just had to sleep here and wake up and do what I asked her to do. But if anything happened, the nurse was here sleeping. She worked 12 hours on and she slept here, the other time. So that's how, Mara's amazing. She's a great nurse and a great friend. She's just absolutely amazing. I wouldn't have been able to go to Aquachella if it wasn't for Mara doing all this. So we got it together, and, now poor Mara, after working all weekend and, and doing all this, now she's had to deal with running number 2 for the whole week. It was, oh my goodness. I've had to deal with it 16 hours a day. Mara had to deal with it 8. It was just crazy. But now it's finally getting past that point, and she's getting better to where she's not having that, and her stomach don't hurt, and you can tell the pain's gone. She has the look of content on her face. So things are getting back to normal now. So thank God that's all over with. That was rough. It was a rough. I come back from Aquachella. I was beat. I'd stayed up all night long, and then I'm doing the show all day, and then the drive back, and then we get home and we have to unload everything and take care of things. And as soon as we got back, Mara's like, "I'm gone." I'm like, "Bye." Thank you so much. She's such a sweetheart. She's I don't know what I'd do without her. She's a great person. So anyways, Tracy's doing really good. She's on we figured out one thing. The steam that they're putting into her throat, because she's off the ventilator, but as she's breathing in, it's dry air, and she can get something called a mucus plug in her lungs. So they've got a like a fog machine, and it puts out air like nonstop. So it's not enough pressure to pump up her lungs, and it don't stop and let her deflate. She breathes it in, and then she exhales it out. She's still breathing on her own, but it's a moist air coming in. So we found out, though, she's been desaturating a lot. She's usually up at 99, 100% on 2 milliliters of air. Well, she's been going down to like 91 and all this kind of stuff, and we couldn't figure out what. All this water in her lungs, is coating the cells that transfer oxygen into the bloodstream. We took her off of this machine for 2 minutes. She right back to 100. We're like, okay, so we're fighting ourselves here, trying to put the moisture in and still keep her saturated. So we figured out, how and why and everything else. So we got that all figured out. We're getting this down. And then Mara called in to make our lives a little bit easier. She called in and ordered a food pump instead of us gravity feeding, because here's the problem with the gravity feed. You open up, it's got a little lever, and you can take this ball, and the farther back towards your thumb you pull it, the more the food drips through. Well, you pull it and you tighten it up a little bit, and it goes drip, drip, drip. That's about where we want it. All of a sudden, it stops dripping. So you have to go and open it. Then it goes rum dun 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 dun, and then you close it down a little bit, and it goes back to drip. You walk away, and it stops again. So we're having such a problem. I don't know if it's this month's batch. We've never had this problem before, but it keeps closing up on us. So Mara's like, look, we can just put the tube in the machine, and it'll do it at a certain amount of and nonstop, and she'll never have hiccups. She's it'll help with the the diarrhea and all that. So we're getting that, and then she called on the wheelchair, because it's been, how long has it been since we got this wheelchair? It's been a long time. So she called on that. She got on some people today. It was funny. She tells this one lady, she's on the phone to the hospital or the company doing this, and she's like, look, lady. I'm like, uh-oh, about to pop off in here.
Don't want to make Mara mad.
Don't want to make Mara mad. So I was like, ooh, and I just listened in, she's handling it. She's a great friend and great nurse. Just love her to death. But yeah, that's the Tracy update, and it's getting easier now and getting, better. And, I gave her, today I gave her some peanut butter. I usually take a little bit, either peanut butter or a little bit of chocolate, Hershey syrup, or maybe some syrup from pancake syrup. And I give her a little taste all the time, But today she wasn't opening her mouth. I'm like, honey, you want to taste this? This is good, And she wouldn't open her mouth, and then she went to yawn. So when she yawned, I took the peanut butter spoon and I turned it upside down and touched her tongue and pulled off. And she stopped her yawn. And this reminded me, because when Tracy was around all these years, if she'd ever yawn, she'd be over there yawning, I'd stick my finger in her mouth, and she hated that. I ruined her yawn, She hated that. I'm like, well, cover up your mouth. And it brought back that memory today. I miss that. I miss her. But there she is. Look at her. Look how cute. So that's the Tracy update. She's done great. We're back on track, and it's getting easier and easier to take care of her. And we all know her that well now that we can tell what she needs and what she wants. And I talk to her every day, trying to get her to. I mean, she blinks when I tell her to blink, but I'm trying to get her to be more coherent, so I have to trick her. Blink twice if you want me to kiss you on your forehead. Blink twice if you want some peanut butter, some syrup. Blink twice if you want to be a big black car. So it's hard to decipher when she's coherent enough to mean the blinks. It's really rough. But we're dealing with it. We're getting by, and I'm happy with the progress. So That's the Tracy update. Hope you guys all like it.
All right, now the word.
No, wait. I'm sorry. I haven't been able to read anything the whole time. So if any of you guys talked about Tracy, I'll try and go back and look. But I'm sorry, I wasn't able to respond to any of that. Go ahead, Josh.
So the word of the night. Wait, are you sure? Are you done?
Wait. Let me turn off the slide. I don't want to turn off Tracy. There we go. It's all you. Wait, I do have something better. Look, I made you this today. Guys, how did you like that thumbnail we made? I thought it was hilarious. Here you go. I'll display it for you. Look at that. I love that thumbnail. That is hilarious. You don't like it, Josh?
They got your man boobies and everything.
Oh, you stop it. I love that thumbnail. That's hilarious.
All right, so for the drinking word of the night, I'm going to go with pow or bam.
Why? We're going to be talking about filtration all night.
Pull up the thumbnail you just pulled up.
Well, it ain't going to be shown no more.
And there's a lot of more people who will say pow and bam just to poke fun at it.
But we're going to be saying filter all night long. We're going to be talking about filtration.
You're more than welcome to come up
all
with the words, buddy. You want the word to be filter, it can be a filter. But I think the people like pow and bam.
Listen to this. Fish Tank Monster says, "Sup, boys? Absolutely the best thumbnail. Your thumbnails are brilliant every week."
All right.
And already starting. There's Pow.
So we have Raheem. Welcome to the green team. He just joined the memberships. Thanks, Raheem.
Oh, thank you.
All right. We have Jimmy O for $5. He says, "Hey guys, I don't know if you seen my message yesterday, but if I send my OFR shirt, can you all sign it and send it back? I'll have all the shipping taken care of." Well,
of course. I answered that today and said, yeah. Cool. Of course.
It would be our pleasure. Now we have Ravi Strom for $50. Says, "Y'all are the best. I can't believe how far the rescue has come from the good old days of don't tell my wife there's no chlorine in the pool."
You remember that?
All the wonderfulness that Tracy added, and now how far you're continuing to go just to save fish.
I was talking to thousands of people. I'm like, don't no one tell her. That didn't work out well.
Yeah, we've come a long way from the 4 years that OFR has been around. So thanks for following along. That was 2 years ago that the pool had chlorine in it. So
yeah,
it's been a long time. Again, thank you. There's one more. We have Mark Lane for $10. Said, "Thanks for the tips for my new 5,000-liter pond at Big Rich. Preparation
buddy.
Going great. Greetings from
I talked to
Germany."
him on the phone, I think.
Hashtag pow. Hashtag Team Tracy.
Jesus. Lightweight scared me there for a second. That's why I'm laughing. I didn't expect that. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a fun night.
You go ahead and take that one.
Hang on a second. I'm looking back on. I promised everybody I'd look back, so give me a minute.
Do that.
Not only we got that, we got this too.
Yeah, no.
So
I'll handle that.
Put all of them right there. Okay. Now.
Well, I'll put that aside. I'm gonna pull these big bad boys out. All right. So
talk about that.
We received something in the mail, and it was a very awesome package. You know, our friend Kevin Josie's even in the chat, so this is a good time to do it.
Kevin's here?
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you for our newest package. Dude, you rock, brother. Came in just in time, too, because I was kind of like, "Josh, let's go up and get something to eat." And he's like, "Nah," because he's on his diet thing, and I'm starving. And there's nothing in the house to eat. And then I get this package, I open it up, and it's this. I was so happy.
Oh yes, we have Tillamook jerky. We've got smoked sausages. We've got jalapeno sausage sticks. And then right here, bam, that's a bag of jerky.
That's a big bag of jerky.
So again, to our friends over at Tillamook Country Smokers, thanks again for the jerky.
Now, we made a video on this, okay, on Facebook. And I kept going, "Who?" And he's like, "Tillamook." I'm like, "Who? How do you spell that?" And I brought it up here. I'm trying to get their name out there more. It wasn't that I forgot their name, okay?
So there's been a few people asking about tit to Tillamook. You can go to tcsjerky.com and check out what that they have. They've got a large selection.
Oh my God, so many different flavors he's brought us so far. It's crazy.
Let me tell you, some good stuff.
Oh, you don't eat it in front of him. It's, I can't even see that, Josh. It's just TKJ? Just KJ?
Yeah, it's just KJ.
Can I ask a dumb question? What was the main thing that happened to Tracy and started falling? Some people don't see this already, but there is a video out there called Tragedy Strikes on OFR. You can go look at that. But in a nutshell, real quick, like, she was sick, we were sick for 2 weeks. It was the worst flu I've ever had. We had no energy. She was puking all the time in the bathroom, and next thing we know, I took her to the hospital. They sent her home with 2 prescriptions of upper respiratory infection medication. And I was mad because they didn't accept her, because she was like a dog with parvo. You pick up the little puppy and he's just limp. That's the way she was. I've never seen her like this. I've been with her for 35 years. There's no way I've ever seen her like this. You need to admit her. And they wouldn't. So I took her home. 2 days later, I'm screaming and yelling on the phone to the doctor. And because finally there was little black specks on her hand when she coughed. And the doctor said, that's blood. She's bleeding internally. Bring her in. So I get Tracy up out of bed. She wanted to take a shower and clean up a little bit before she went to the hospital. I took her in the shower. And Josh finished this.
That is when she, basically, long story short, I'm not going to go into the detail that she lost a lot of blood. She ended up having a...
No, I don't need all that. She went out in the shower and she died in my arms. I picked her up, I brought her out, I was doing CPR on her, calling 911. It took, quite a few minutes for the medics to get here. And then, she was in a coma since then. So all this is, the doctor said she'll never be off these 8 machines she's on. She's blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and pull the plug. And we wouldn't. Within a week, she worked off of those 8 machines. She's only on 1, which was the oxygen, the ventilator, the respirator, or whatever you want to call it. And, she's worked her way off, and she's back, and her bodies all functions are great. She's doing good, and now she's moving more. I have to actually get bars for the bottom of the hospital bed because she's taking her legs and pulling them up and getting into the fetal position, and her legs from her knees down are falling off the bed all the time, and I'm having to pick them up, put back on. And she's moving that much. She's turning. She's progressed a lot. So I hope that answers your question. I got to move on.
We have Danimal Cracker for $5. Says, did you guys see Aquarium Co-op at Aquachella? Pow! Bam!
Wow. Okay. No, we did not. He was not there. I did go looking. I was going to talk to him. But yeah, he wasn't there.
We got Kevin Josie. He said, jerky is like a miracle grow for mullets.
That's how I got all this. Like, there's more. There's back here. No one even said anything about me cutting my hair today. I can't believe it. Usually people would be freaking out.
All right, we got Jim Sheasley for $5. He said, hey guys, stay fishy. Stay fishy, Jim.
There you go, buddy. Stay fishy. And when you gonna come visit us or give me a call or something? I've been wondering how you doing.
All right, well, the chat's caught up. We're going to get into the next topic of debate.
Okay, I think I'm caught back up here.
I'm going to enjoy my delicious jerky.
Tillamook jerky.
I said delicious jerky.
Right, delicious Tillamook jerky. You gotta say their name. Okay. Now check this out. Have you guys seen all the hype on Facebook about this new fish we got? It's amazing. We got sent a Australian lungfish from Lone Star Exotic and Rare Fish Company. Out of the blue, caught me off guard. I'm like, wow, they're wanting to do this for us. So I felt I need to help them back. So I've been advertising them a little bit, because that's a $2,000 fish. And it's something we would never have again. We used to have a big one. And this is back in the days they were legal and all that. Now, after we got rid of ours, they became illegal and we're never going to get one again. And now we have one. And we got it eating today for the first time. I was really worried because he's a baby, 5 inches. And he wasn't eating. And I was
Leave it to
really
this
worried.
guy.
Well, I went out there with a syringe and I'm trying all these different foods. Mysis shrimp, bloodworms, and I'm thawing them out and I'm sucking them up the syringe and I'm putting it down in the water and I'm putting it right on his nose. Nothing. I tried shrimp and tilapia, which is what they said they were feeding on, and nothing. And then Josh comes home and he cut the shrimp up into little tiny pieces and put it down in there right on his nose and he started eating. I'm like, oh, hail Josh. I was so happy. But anyways, this little Australian lungfish has brought great joy to us, and it was all from a company, Lone Star Exotic Rare, fish company. They were so nice, and they told me I don't need to do nothing in return, blah blah blah. So I put their sticker on the tank where the lungfish is, so every time we video them, the sticker will be there and their name will be mentioned. And they also sent us the CITES, what's it called, the permit to own the lungfish. And not only did they just send the permit, they had it put into a plaque, and oh my God, it's so nice. I hung it up. I hope you guys all saw the video. I hung it up. I mean, I'm just so happy for this, and it brightened up my day, my week. It's been every day I've been messing with this little guy. He's so cute. And
between that lungfish and the reef tank, I haven't seen him, and it's been awesome.
You should see how well the reef's doing. Everyone was saying, since I reused the sand and I moved it, everything's going to die off, and there hasn't been one thing that died, and everything is doing amazing.
And the corals that were dying in her tank, can't get them back. And
I didn't even know some of the corals were there because they were closed up and dying. I brought them here. I got them on the schedule with that XR30 light, and I downloaded it from their company, and I put it on there, and everything's on a schedule. It's the same thing every day. I'm putting, reefroids in there, mixing it up, putting it with the little syringe, and it's got like a long tube to it, and I'm putting some on each coral, and oh my God, these things are just amazing looking. There's corals there I didn't know was there that are opened up and starting to do great now. So we got to, maybe 3 months from now, they'll all be, starting to spread and do good. But right now, I'm happy with it. It looks amazing. And, but I get shocked. You know how you don't get shocked if you touch the water, but if you touch like a piece of screen that's touching the water, it shocks you. I don't know how or why, but it gets me right on each side of my fingernail. And so I'm grabbing the screen out of the water, and I'm moving it before I even touch anything, because I was holding the screen up and putting my hands in the water. Oh, I was getting shocked left and right. So, but anyways, I've got more videos coming on the saltwater. So let's move on from that though. But check this out. Go check out Lone Star Exotic Rare Fish Company.
Rare and exotic fish.
Yes. Well, on their website it just says Exotic Rare Fish Company. So, but anyways, check them out. They have the wildest, stock I've ever seen. They've got goonch on there, and how hard is it to find a goonch, They've got goonch, they've got African arowanas. They got all kinds of crazy things. More of the Australian lungfish. I've got people that called hold of me today and, wanted to know where I got it from, and I told them, and there's a 10% discount on it. It's called OFR-lung. That'll get you 10% off of your lungfish if you want to buy it from there. These guys, and not only did they give me this fish, but they've been calling me daily. How's he doing? Did you get him to eat? Did you try this? They sent me all kinds of things to try from the person they got them from. They said, this is what, they'll eat. And they give me a whole list of things. And I've been trying everything. They were just as worried as I was. I mean, this is a great company.
You worried. Daddy's got you.
Oh, my God. This kid.
Come from me for help. Less than a half hour, your fish is eaten.
I was like, Josh, I've tried everything for the last 2 days. Dude, do something, And he went out there, and I'd be darned if he didn't get him to eat.
I had to go and buy shrimp first because I was out of shrimp.
Well, I ran out of shrimp trying to feed them and all that kind of stuff.
Just my magic touch.
GS says, how big can your new lungfish get? They get up to 5 foot.
Yes. So if you guys remember, the oldest Australian lungfish in captivity was actually housed at the Shed Aquarium.
Wasn't he 80?
He was over 80 years old, and he just died like 2 years ago or something like that. I forget his name. It was something like Gary or something like that.
OFR Cup.
But yeah, he was at the Shed Aquarium. He was massive. Once he got to a certain age, they stopped putting him on display and they had him behind the scenes. And that's where he lived out his life until he passed away. So for all you guys buying, Australian lungfish out there, you got to think about the next 80 years, and these guys can get 5 foot long.
Yes. And
but we'll gladly take them and give them an awesome home.
for sure.
All right, we have Nicole Wessel for $5. She said hashtag Team Tracy, hashtag Stay Fishy, a couple hot hearts.
Nice.
Not know what else she said.
You're gonna trim at me, ain't you?
She said pop.
Oh, nice. He said it nice and quiet. I like it.
Bam!
This kid.
She didn't.
You're gonna wake your mother up.
She didn't actually say pow or bam.
Gosh, dick. Okay, we're getting to the filtration talk soon. Okay, I got one more thing to bring up. There's another company, R&S Aquatics. Now they had a what's it called, a firewood cat for sale, and I was like, oh my god, we have
firewood cat.
Planiceps.
There you go. More people know about Planiceps than firewood.
Usually the name that they are, people don't know. They know the acronym, the name people give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows an Oxydorus niger, but they all know Ripsaw cat. I know you know it. So, but anyways, I'm like, oh my god, we haven't had one since our 4-footer died of old age, and I called them up, and not only did they sell me this fish at a ridiculous reduced amount, they drove down from Ann Arbor, Michigan, delivering me this Planiceps cat. So I've got them, little video, but R&S Aquatics. I mean, these people that are going out of their way to make my day, that's just amazing to me. It's amazing. So check out R&S Aquatics too, and if you can find something you like there, go ahead and give them a try. Let's see.
All right, we have Fish Tank Monsters for $5. Says, where is the man, the myth, and the legend, Reaper? Bam!
Man.
You're going to be praying for this live stream to be over, aren't you? Oh, man.
All right, now I got one more thing to say.
Wait.
And we decided on this.
Jason's Plecos and Cichlids says the name of the 84-year-old lungfish was Granddad. I told you to start it with the G. I said
Thank
Gary.
You, Jason. He said Gary.
Close enough, right? Granddad, Gary, sounds the same. Both start with a G.
Okay. So what we decided was, I asked you guys, what to name this lungfish, and you all came up with some great ideas. But in lieu of the people that gave it to us, me and Josh decided to call him Lone Star. So that's our buddy.
Not to be confused with that Will Star guy. Nobody likes him.
Oh, stop it. Everyone likes Will Star. Oh, he don't hang out here for a couple days and you turn on him. He's our buddy. But no, our name of our lungfish is now Lone Star. So we talk about them, their name gets brought up. We should video them, it's on there. We tried buying one last year, the year before, and we just couldn't get the deal right. So now we got one. So I'm liking life. Life is pretty good.
Pow!
With the cards
Another
I've been
super
dealt.
chat.
This kid is killing me.
We have Koi Life for $5. Says, next time I'm in Japan, I'm going to find 100+ centimeter shigoi for Tracy for the main pond. My gift to you.
Oh,
you are a strong
wow.
pair of dudes. Stay fishy.
Wow, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. We don't really have any pure blood,
Japanese koi.
really super elegant, nice, string, like that. We have a bunch of things that people have bought for, $3 and $5. They've grown up in their ponds and then they've gotten big. So we have that, but a straight bloodline would be beautiful.
I'm just saying the shigoi you see from Japan,
they're
ridiculous.
Huge. I call them chunkers.
They're just you
Yay
can just
big
look
around,
at them. Quality.
And they're like 40 inches. They're just huge. And then the shigoi, isn't that the one all white with the red on its head?
Good question.
Yeah, look that up real quick.
Nah, that's not the shigoi. I know what you're talking about, and it is. I forget the name of that one.
Did you get this one?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
Shigoi are the big, fat, round ones. They come in a couple different colors, but they're the big, plump ones.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Now, I'm still drawing a blank on the one with the red spot on his head, white body. I know what you're talking about. It's going to kill me.
It's going to kill you. Someone's going to tell you real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, you dummy. Tancho!
You think so?
I know so.
Sure? Ain't red too? Something?
Nope, it's Tancho. And that's because I seen it from Tony, and then Koi Life said Tancho. So I'm going with Tancho. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's it. Yes, guys, I forgot the name. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. All right. So we have Robbie Strom again for another $5. Says you need to put a grounding probe in that saltwater tank. They generate small amounts of electricity just moving the water around.
And with the salt in there, it really gets you around your fingernails and everything. So, yeah, I got to do that. But the
maybe
tank is,
if you'd wear shoes.
Stop it. The tank is set up as a temporary spot. We had to get it home. We had to get the corals back in there. We had to get water in there. We tried saving this tank. It ain't where we want it to go. We need to move it and, all this other stuff. So we're going to upgrade. We're not going to use that half octagon tank that's acrylic. We're going to go ahead and put a 180 there and make that the saltwater tank and have it right by the door.
Can I tell him? All right, so the tank that Tesla's in, he's going to get bumped up to a bigger tank, of course, but that tank is the 195 up top and then a 100-gallon, 10-inch tall tank down bottom.
Called a frag tank.
So he's going to actually use that to grow his frags out, have them both looped into the same system. And
that's what he thinks. I'm not putting that $800 lighting down below. I have 2 of those lights, and they're going up top on the corals, okay? I'm not buying more to go down below to grow out frags.
We've got 8 AI lights sitting back there.
We do have the AI lights. My buddy Dave Demeter's been dying to get them off.
And then I've got a matching set of 3 AI puck lights. Oh, look pretty darn nice on there.
We can do a little frag. I guess you can.
You can do 4 AIs up top, 4 AIs down bottom, all matching lights, all the same plugs, looking nice and neat, rocking on.
Not using them. I'm using the XR30s up top.
Same, bud. You say you don't have to buy nothing. I'm saying it's at your disposal. We'll make it happen. But yeah, so that means we're going to have to, rearrange a little bit in the fish room, probably make some upgrades because that's what we do. And everyone's happy, and I can shut this guy up about the saltwater. For now.
For now. I will outgrow that 180 soon.
Right.
I wanted that 580. I wanted that. Or 540, 580, what is it? I wanted that.
He's just realizing it's a lot of work for saltwater, a whole reef.
But you know what? I'm up here. I take care of Tracy. She's good. She's falling asleep. I put my phone on to the cameras where I can see Tracy, and I go out to the saltwater tank. And I'm like, ooh, what's this? What's that? What's going on? Oh, look how big this has gotten. We see these corals growing daily or coming out from what the damage they were because they were dying off. I mean, daily. These things are just like, wow. And, it's I can't stop looking at it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
All right, so Raheem asked, he said, does your merch store ship to India?
I don't know.
That's something we'll have to look into. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% guaranteeing it.
Okay. Benjamin Keat says, to this day, I've never seen a fish deny a juicy worm. I had bloodworms in there. All over his face, his head, all around his body. He just did not want none of them. It wasn't until Josh put that little tiny piece of shrimp in there on his nose that he started eating.
Magic hands. Pale Horse Rider for $10 says, much love to Tracy. Stay strong, stay positive, and keep fighting. Bam!
You make me jump inside every time you do that. You know, I'm not drinking because you tell me it's time to drink. I'm drinking because I need a drink after that. All right, can we get to the filtration talk?
Wait a minute. As soon as we catch up, we certainly can. David LL for $5 says, hey guys, I've been trying to get in contact with you guys. Where could I try to get in contact? Thank you. You have to message either one of us on Facebook.
Message him. I've got so many messages. You know, I'm about 1,000 messages behind in the Big Richard Ohio Fish Rescue email. I cannot keep up with these messages. We need a team of people.
Hey,
you know?
I'm dealing with all the messages coming. You turned
From
off
Instagram.
You turned off the messages from the Facebook page. I've seen that. Didn't say nothing about it. I'm like, okay, all right.
I couldn't keep up with the messages from the page,
but
and it's too hard to answer them.
Instagram's still there, TikTok's still there, and I answer them all. And then whatever comes to my Facebook.
I still answer every YouTube video, and I still answer everything on Facebook, and I'm still answering the Big Richard Ohio Fish Rescue. What I'm saying is I need a secretary or a dedicated internet liaison, whatever. I need someone there just doing this nonstop, because there's a lot of questions people ask that if you just look up on the internet, you can find the answer for. So there's a lot of them that I have to weed through, and you know, then I find somebody really in need of our help, and I have to answer them. So these guys, like 20 people, get put on hold. I deal with this one here, and then I go on to here, and then there's you know, Greg Woodside gets a hold of me. I got to answer him back, and you know, then there's this collaboration, and you know, things that are just important, and you know, rescues, stuff like that. So I mean, there's like 1,000 messages. I have to go every night and try and catch up. But every time I do like 150 messages, I look and I'm down only 20 because more messages came in. It's so just rough.
SC Aquatics for $5 says, I still owe you for Bruce. Hashtag never forget. Hashtag
the purple nurple.
So I got a video of it. I have Bruce on. I got Diesel's shark shirt on him. And I come up and I get Steven right on the nip, purple nurple.
On video.
I'll put that up for the members so you guys can enjoy that.
All right, Sean asks, why doesn't LRB come to the rescue anymore? Well, it's a long way. It's a long drive, and you know, he's busy. We're busy, and you know, things happen, and we're not close to each other. You know.
Danimal Cracker, $5 says, Josh, you need to spend those AMC space bucks on that platinum tiger shovel nose at Lone Star. P.S. Where has Whipple Star been? Finding Bigfoot? It's exactly where he's been.
I think Bigfoot took him.
I think he got gonna.
No, he was over here the day before yesterday, and he spent about 4 hours here. He's going through some family things, and you know, he's got his own life.
We got David LL for $5. Says, thank you. I appreciate it. Awesome. That we answered his last super chat.
Oh.
All right. So we are caught up. Filtration. You finally want to talk about filtration. What do you want to talk about? What's filtration?
Well, okay, there's a lot of new people, you know, out there that don't understand how we keep our water so clear. There's so much info out there that it confuses people. We had one guy put on there, I've been in the hobby for like 12 years, and I still learn things from your video that you put out.
15, but yeah.
Okay. So anyways, I thought we should talk about it and you know, get it out there and let people know, and how we can help them. Like DIY Joey did. He got everybody to be able to build your own filter. There is a theory to it and how and why they work.
Let's put this into perspective, okay? So he's talking about filtration, but this leads to something else as well. So it's all about knowledge over experience over many years. Everyone coming together. Here's my experience. Here's mine. Here's what works. Here's what doesn't. So that applies to filtration and also fish. Because if you remember 10, 15 years ago, some of the fish we're able to keep alive now were so expert level that you couldn't even think to have them, because as soon as you get them, they're dying. I.e. a majority of all the fish we own that are praised right now. Armadas, Goliath, tigerfish. You couldn't even ship those guys without them dying, and now they're being shipped everywhere.
Right.
They're still not at any decent size, but you know what? They're getting small ones around because they're figuring out. Everyone's sharing the knowledge on how to ship them, how to take care of them. So back to filtration.
So.
Wait.
This kid. You're covering up the Stay Fishy logo.
Who cares about those guys?
All right. Filtration is very simple when you look at it. You got to hang on the back.
Kind of like bam, pow.
It sucks water through it, puts it through a membrane of like a fiberglass membrane, and then there's charcoal in the middle, and it goes through. You change that cartridge every once in a while. That's a hang on the back. Nobody been doing anything for any length of time likes hang on the backs. They're for small tanks. They're for inexperienced people. They do work for small tanks, okay? But I like my tanks up against the wall, so I don't want no big hang on the back filter on there. And we use our homemade filters on all the big tanks, and all they are real simple. You got a pump in the water. It pumps up. It goes through fiberglass. And if you want bio balls, because we're only using it for mechanical, so it just goes through fiberglass and comes back in. Our pass-through water system is all the biological filtration. But if you want to make, let's call it a backy shower type filter. They do that, and they have like scrubbies at the top or fiberglass, and then it comes through that one, and then it goes into your biological media, whether you use lava rock, bio balls, ceramics, whatever, or scrubbies. Also, they can be biological too. And then it goes down back to your water. That's called a backy shower, and it's a very widely used in the other side of the world for koi ponds and stuff like that. It's basically the same thing, except for we take a Walmart tub. I take a hose and I clamp it to the top, and the hose is pouring out in the middle of the tub. It goes through a bunch of pillar stuffing because that's the cheapest mechanical filtration you can buy. It's $3 for a big old bag, and from Walmart. It goes through that, and then it goes down into, if you want the biological filtration, the bio balls or the lava rock. And then I wouldn't do lava rock with the filter floss because it sticks to the lava rock. I use bio balls for everything. One, because I have a bunch. Two, because I've tried lava rock, and the amount, see, here's the thing with lava rock. It's got 1 million holes on it, and each hole holds air. And then there's a bubble. Well, right where the air touches the water is the only place around the edge of that hole is where bacteria can grow. So it's very inefficient to me. I don't use it no more. We had a bunch of lava rock all through the 4400, all through the 3000.
We had it in the bottom of our settling chamber.
Yeah, we got rid of all lava rock. And now the only bacteria filtration you see at our place is in the pond or pool with the stingrays. It's all bio balls, gravity fed, straight through, and then out.
Which is actually ancient technology now, because we've got stuff that's way better, but we haven't swapped it out, which is the K3.
We have the K3. Well, see, here's the thing with the K3. See, there's so many options. This is where people get confused. The K3 they use because it's around like a wagon wheel, and it's got crosses and stuff all through it. And but it's made for a churning system. In other words, you've got
barrel.
boil barrel, churning system, whatever you want to call it. You've got a big tub of water, and then you've got air coming up on one side. This K3 now starts churning. Rolling, right. And now, as the bacteria grows on it, it goes through the water, it goes into the air. It goes through the water. Here's my problem with that. I don't want to rely on that, because if the power goes out, all your bacteria dies being underwater. No air. I have mine as a pass-through. Now, if the power goes out and the water stops, it'll stay moist in there for up to 24 hours. The bacteria can live. And it gives me ample time to hook up generators to start running things again. You know, with the boil barrel, you've got maybe 2, maybe 3 hours, and all bacteria is dead. And then you're in for a heap of trouble and all kinds of smell. If any one of you have ever seen bacteria die, you know it smells really bad. An old hose you went to siphon through, there's been water in there for a while, bacteria grew, and then it all died. It stinks. Everyone knows this in the fish world. But yeah, so on every tank we have, like Josh was explaining in the video, we have mechanical filtration just to take out the particulates in each tank. If we just had pass-through going in, each tank would be a settling chamber, and all the dirt would settle to the bottom. This is why I believe in the bubble walls, and people were making fun of me about this, but the bubble walls start making the water churn. And
bubble walls are for old people.
Stop it. The water churns and no debris sets at the bottom, and then your filtration can take it out of the water column. That's why I use it, to make my life easier.
But they look tacky.
Stop it.
I'm just saying what everyone else says.
So then now we have the big pumps, tubs on top full of fiber floss that just take out mechanical filtration, the particulates. Oh, this guy is killing me.
You're supposed to say, well, look at our water. Let's see yours.
Look at our water.
There you go.
There you go.
Looks great, doesn't it?
So for as cheap as we run everything, and you know, I've seen stores, they've got, you know, big filtration on every row and all this stuff. We don't do that. We've got one 10,000 gallon per hour pump, which is a pool pump, running our whole fish room, plus each little pump, like, what's that, 250 gallon, 500 gallon per hour pumps?
The one on the 4400 is 4,000 and 2,500 on the two tubs going up top to just the fiber floss.
Okay. And that's the worst case scenario. All the rest of them are just power heads running up to fiber floss, running back into the tank, keeping them clean. The mechanical makes it look pretty. You do mechanical filtration. If your tank ain't never getting clean, add more mechanical. It'll take the particulates out. If your water smells, add more bacterial. Okay?
Or if it's hazy.
And hazy too. We get a lot of calls from people. I've got this tank. It's been cloudy for 9 days. I keep doing water changes. You know what I tell them? Leave it alone. Don't do water changes. Let it smell. It'll be the fastest way it turns overnight. And, you know, it'll be cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. And then one day you'll wake up and it'll be crystal clear. That's a bacteria bloom. So, you know, people say, use the charcoal. It'll take the smell away. We haven't used charcoal for 10 years in our system, and there's no smell. People are amazed when they come here. It don't smell like fish. It don't smell like a pet store, you know, and they're amazed. If you have good filtration, you don't need charcoal. Charcoal is a mask or a Band-Aid. It's not fixing the problem. It's covering it. So you take the smell away so you're not smelling it. The problem's still there. You don't have enough bacterial, you know, filtration. So, you know, it's a lot of it's your own. This guy says, my uncle used this type of, you know, scrubbies as media, and I'm going to use that. Well, go ahead. It'll work. I'm not saying it's better or worse than this. Someone says, I swear by lava rock. Well, go ahead and use it. I found in my experience, it was way too, what do you want to call it?
Takes up way too much space for the amount of bacteria that it can hold.
We got way more bacteria on bioballs in a small little space, and we got rid of all that lava rock, which our fish were getting scratched up on all the time.
So let's put this into perspective. If you take a 3-inch ball of lava rock, and so you take the same size bio ball. Lava rock compared to bio ball is about 10 times the surface area on a bio ball than there is on a lava rock. Now the bio balls compared to K3 is about 10 times it as well. You get one little piece of K3, it's equivalent to about 10 bio balls. And that's just based on surface area because of all the cuts and folds and microscopic little insertions that can grow bacteria on that piece of media. That's what it all comes down to. You know, there's bacteria growing on the sidewalls of your fish tank.
Hey, Dougie, stop. I ain't there yet.
Each piece of the aquarium gravel also has, you know, beneficial bacteria on it. So it is possible if you have a large enough system with enough gravel, that's how a lot of our ponds work. There's enough bacteria in there to help with the nitrogen cycle just off of sheer volume of the rocks.
Now, someone else says, Dougie says.
Wait. We have Robbie Strome for $5. Pow!
Oh, geez. Thank you, Robbie.
Oh, that tickles. How do you like that, huh?
That don't bother me, but you can't handle it. All right, let me see here what it says. Yeah, Almighty Graham
question
says
from
something
Robbie
about scrubbies contain bacterial additives, blah blah blah. But I've seen thousands of people use them and have had no adverse effects. But you know, that's to each their own. Somebody comes up with, I don't want to do it the traditional way. I think this is better. Well, in their mind, they're thinking they're doing better, and they're doing better, and they like it, and it's working for them. Let them be.
Again,
you know,
scrubbies will work, but like 5 or 6 scrubbies is equivalent to a bio ball.
Right. People don't understand this. And we get people that truly hate this. I use lava rock for my saltwater system. Blah, blah, blah. It's better than anybody. No, it's not.
The only thing lava rock has that bio balls does not have, and I will agree with anybody who disputes this topic, which not many do, but in the deep down crevices of them pieces of lava rock are dark cells that water slowly pass through that some anaerobic bacteria can grow on and help filter out the nitrates.
Yes, aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Now, have you ever heard of something called a
denitrifier?
Denitrifier or what was the other thing?
Anaerobic chamber.
There you go. You have to feed them sugar to keep the bacteria alive, but you do it.
That's if you do it in a
light-free environment.
Correct.
Yes, and that actually works. It does eat nitrates. Way too
At
much.
a slow rate.
Very slow rate.
3
Very
drops
too
per
much.
second.
Would you stop and let me talk?
Very slow. Works on smaller tanks.
It's too much hassle. I tried it. I didn't like it. You know what I work for denitrification? Plants. There you go, Dougie. You're up. Plants. We have plants everywhere. The more plants we have, the less water changes we have to do. You guys know about LRB. He has no filters in any of his tanks. Well, I won't say any, but 90% of his tanks are cleared and cleaned by plants. All he does is top off. He doesn't do water changes, and it's the natural way. Now, I'm going to say something, and it's kind of controversial. People have yelled before, but have you ever seen a farmer go out to his pond and change the water? No. Now, the controversy on this is it's the plants cleaning the water. Yes, that is absolutely correct. 2, the controversy comes in at, oh, well, there's rainfall and blah, 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 blah. Okay, 99% of these ponds are stagnant ponds that are not fed by streams. And hold on, let me talk. No, I'm on this. And they're not fed by streams, so they're not got a pass-through water system in this. That's a lake, that's a pond, a big, huge one. These little farm ponds are smaller ponds, the size of your house. And they have the biggest bucket mouth bass in them. yes, the rain does fill it back up. You will see the pond go down, and then, 3 weeks of no rain, a month or two of no rain, and then it rains and it fills back up. There is a top off, but it's the plants in that pond that are eating the nitrates. It's how nature does it. We've never changed the water in Lake Erie. There's plenty of plants in there. There's all kinds of plants. It's the plants that eat the nitrates. The more plants you have, the less water changes you can do. Now, I have pothos all over my filtration, and it's going out 20 foot, 30 foot in each direction. I'm going to keep growing them longer and longer. It eats up more and more nitrates. I pull the pothos out of the water. It's got 2 foot long roots that are reaching down, reaching for more nitrates. The more nitrates I have eaten out, the less water I have to put in to my daily water rejuvenation, because we have a pass-through system. We don't do water changes other than on a quarantine system. Okay? So this is how it's the cheapest way I can do this. I mean, because you got to be really smart to be this cheap. Okay? This is the cheapest way I can run this system, and if the more plants I get, the less water I use. So let's go on to what's the other point I wanted to? Oh, your nitrates. Now, when they build up, you have to change the water. I mean, that's simple, right? Everyone knows that. But here's the thing that kills me. Now, people go, well, I got a tank. It's a 55 gallon. My neighbor changes his water every 2 weeks. I'm going to change my water every 2 weeks. Okay. I don't understand that. This is very simple formula. And it's boggles my mind how people don't get this. Your fish, your amount of fish, the amount you feed, the amount of water changes you do, the amount of light you keep on, are you near a window? It's all different than your neighbor's tank. Okay, your situation is going to be different. The only way, and this is the just solid information here, the only way to know your schedule on your fish tank, this is it. Check this out, people. Test every single day, because I'm going on the fact that everybody has their cycle done and your fish tank's up and running. You test your water. All you're testing for is nitrates. When they get up to 30 parts per million, you want to do a 50% water change, right? To bring that down to 15. You don't want your nitrates over 20 parts per million. That's a happy fish right there. Can fish live in 90 parts per million? Yes, they're not happy, they're not good, and they're living in a smoke-filled room, and they're not eating good. It's not good for them. If you keep your nitrates under 20 parts per million, you're golden. I mean, some people are out there that are really fanatics. They keep them under 5, but you don't have to. Keep them under 30 parts per million, 20 parts per million even is even better. If you can do this, then you're golden. But you introduce new fish, they don't have a problem. You introduce a new fish to the tank that has 90 parts per, even though you acclimated the tar out of it, that fish is going to die in a day or so. Okay? Here's the thing. You test your water when the nitrates get up to, what do you want to set the block at? 30 or 20, 25, what?
This is your talk.
Okay. Let's set it at 30 parts per million. You test every day. Now, this is only to set your schedule. You test every day. When your water gets up to 30 parts per million, that day you do a 50% water change. Now you're at 15 parts per million. Happy fish. Now you keep testing every single day. You can even buy the sticks because they somewhat work. But you test every day. Now it takes you either a week, 3 weeks, or 2 months to get back to 30 parts per million. Whenever it does get back to 30 parts per million, at that point, that is your schedule. You now change that water 50% and you're back to 15. Here's the problem. And that's a great piece of information right there. Here's the problem. I'm going to change my water because my neighbor does his every 3 weeks. All right, I've got more fish. I feed more. I feed my fish 4 times a day. He feeds his once a day. I start my tank out and it's going, it's doing good. Everybody's happy. I'm feeding them. He changes his water. I change my water. Here, my water is up to, let's say, 40%. I do a half a tank water change and now it's down to 20. He changes his water. He's good. 2 weeks later, mine's up to like 70%. He changes his water. I change my water. Now I'm down to 35. 2 weeks later, we're up to like 95%, 100%. We change the water. Now we're at 50%. You see where this is going. 6 months down the road, you're going to be so high of nitrates and you don't know it. And then you're going to buy a fish from a pet store and you acclimate him. You're going to do everything right. You're going to float him for a while. And then you're going to release him in your water. And then he dies. You know what you do? You claim the pet store sold you a bad fish. It's so simple. Please set your own schedule by testing. Once you test it, you can just, okay, it took me a week and I'm back to 30. Or 3 weeks, I'm back to 30. Or 4 months, I'm back to 30 finally. That's your schedule. That's when you change your water. Half a tank water change, you're down half of 30, that's 15. I mean, it's so simple to me. I don't understand why so many people have this problem, and I don't understand why people say, my neighbor does it or my brother does this. That's why I do mine. There's no parameters the same between two different fish tanks. You feed more. You feed less. You have more fish. You have less fish. He gravel cleans once a week. You don't. You know, there's so many different variables. Test your water. Once it gets up to the highest point, do your 50% water change. Test every day until it gets back to that point. It takes 1 week to 3 weeks, 2 months, whatever. That's your schedule. That's your personalized schedule. That's your, unless you buy more fish. Now it's going to change. So, I mean, please, guys, listen to that. Take that formula and learn that. That is so, just so handy right there. You know, you could be saving money on water changes. You know, your water bill is $100 a month. You can bring it down, you know, because you're changing water unnecessarily. Or you need to up the water changes because your water keeps building up more and more nitrates every 2 weeks. I mean, please learn that. That's if there's something I can bestow on to everybody, that's a simple formula to me, and everyone needs to know that. That's godsend to me.
So after this 20-minute tangent, you know, how you had an idea and I let you talk, even though I wanted to interrupt you and say my 2 cents, I let you go on about your business.
Just go on with it.
There's a lesson to be learned here.
What?
Just
listen to Big Rich?
Exactly what I said.
What?
Well, we got planted tanks for $5. Says, was awesome meeting you, Big Rich, at Aquachella. Seriously considering flying out to Dallas for the next one.
Dude, do it. We had a great
Girl.
time at Aquachella. Oh, it was?
It's a girl.
What was the name of it?
Planted tanks.
Oh, a little blonde-haired girl. I remember her. Okay. Yes. We had a great time there, you know. And I met so many people, so I'm sorry if I don't recognize the name right off the rip. And you know, I was kind of drinking there. It's a little cat out of the bag.
Ian Boyle for $20 says, hi, Big Rich. Thanks again for getting back to me. Can't wait to visit OFR and hopefully meet you both.
Awesome. Come on out, buddy.
One more. Nope, that's it. So back to filtration.
Okay, Fish and Monster says, I keep mine at 0 parts per million. No plants, no water changes.
I call bullshit.
I call big time bullshit. Get a what's the name of the test kit?
API
Master Test Kit. Go test that. It's impossible. No one can keep their nitrates at 0. No one. It's impossible. Fish are peeing in the water. Fish are pooping in the water. Food is decaying in the water. Plants are decaying in the water. You know, it's all bad. You know, it makes nitrates. There's nothing you can do about it. So to claim you have 0 nitrates, I don't believe it, buddy.
Unless you're doing, 50% water changes every day.
Which is actually harmful on your fish.
Yes. But the best we ever got here was 5 parts per million on a very heavy drip with a low bio load with all the plants.
That was about $800 a month in water. we now got it less, where we keep ours at 10 to 15, and you know the water bill is about $450 now, so it's less, and the more plants I can get and put in our system, like our 185 discus tank, that's a pass-through system, and it's covered in plants. Our angel tank, pass-through system, covered in plants. Our filtration, covered in plants. But there's some tanks I can't have plants. The 4400, there's giant gourami. The 1000, giant gourami. The pool pond, there's giant gourami, and what else eats plants? Oh, the turtle, the giant Mexican musk turtle. The tilapia. They all eat the plants. So we can't have plants. That's why I have a river of the waterfall coming back, and then it runs the whole length of the pool of river and then pours in, because that's full of plants. There's a lot of our tanks that we can't have plants in because of the fish. Any pacu, you can't have plants. Stuff like that. So, you know, I'm trying to add more plants in every tank that we can have plants. It'll make your life simpler, easier, and cheaper. And you know, it's all about the cheapness.
Chris Trapp says, remember when the guy bet you from MFK forum about your water? And yeah, that was only at what, 10 parts per million?
Something like that. He said it would be like 50 or higher or something. And you kept the test tube and everything in it. And then they started accusing you, you didn't shake it long enough. You weren't pointing north while you were shaking it. It was crazy. No.
But yes, there is digital thermometers, or not thermometers, digital monitors now that can do nitrates. Yeah. You're gonna expend a cartridge of solution, but if you're testing water daily and you hate waiting the 5 minutes and doing all this crap, then you can go ahead and spend that and get the little digital monitor.
Science Gal Aquatics is here. Hi, Carrie. It was great meeting you at Ohio Fish Rescue. Yes, it was great meeting you too. We got to sit next to her. I didn't even get a chance to really talk to her. I mean, we were just signing autographs and talking to people and this and that, and you know, and I'm just like, I thought she was like one of the people here, but I'd seen her online before, and then somebody, you know, she put out her card. And I'm like, oh, that's science. Okay, and I put 2 and 2 together, and you know, I should have went up and hugged you. I'm sorry. I was in my element, and I'm all, the people are coming, getting their autographs, you know. We were always so busy, but, you know, that was great hanging with you, Carrie. That was great. That was Science Gal Aquatics, guys. Check her out. All right, what else we got here? Kevin Brown says, that's funny shit right there. And the updates on the saltwater from Arnold Gupta. Yes, the saltwater tank is doing amazing. Actually, I may even have a saltwater view here. Now, this is from like a week ago. There's the background. Now, this one we saw when we were there. This one we saw, but that was it. But see, these little ones like here and this one here, they weren't out. They were all, you know, closed up. And now that we got them we got the XR30 on a schedule, they're all popping out. I mean, you should see. I'm going to put up a new video. There's like, I'm telling you, probably 15 corals across there that weren't opened up before. They're beautiful. Plus, you know, they gave us a couple at Aquachella, so we put them there. A couple frags, we put them in there too. But sorry, I went to move the back picture. Yeah, so. Them things are opening up, and then all these on the floor here.
Scared of the little clownfish.
Oh, stop it. Let me get this background on here. Where's it at? This background right here. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, see this right here? That's barely open. That is completely green now. It's covered in stuff. Same with this one. Same with this one over here. Completely covered in green carpet. It looks beautiful. It looks like, oh, look at Josh. He got, what's that called?
A halo?
No. That's your the hair, where they don't wash it, they spin
Afro? Dreadlocks?
That's your dreadlocks. Look at them go. But yeah, these things here have all opened up, and you know, everybody said they were going to die. I have been on it, and there are so many corals in that tank now. I wish I had an updated picture to show you.
Josh has an afro.
Jenny's Aquatic says, you guys are so motivational. Thank you for everything you do. Team Tracy, drinking word, drinking word, drinking word. Ah, he wasn't here early enough to know. What's the drinking word?
Pow! Bam! Pow! Bam!
If you guys were in this room and hearing what I'm hearing, it's loud.
We got Dougie, says, did you have anyone feed your fish while you were at Aquachella, or did you just fast, or did they just fast until it was only a few days?
Oh yeah, screw the fish. No, that. Of course I did. I had Christy come over. She for $5 an hour. She will come over and hang out, do whatever I need. I direct her on the phone. I can see her through the cameras, and I had her feed all the fish and take care of things. And she's a little sweetheart. I think what's she 17 or something?
16 or something.
16, 17, something like that. She's a sweetheart. She really. I mean, $5 an hour is nothing, and I should be paying her more. But she loves the $5 an hour. And it helps me out. She comes over on Saturdays and watches Tracy for me so that I don't have to, if nobody's here, for me to leave the room, I have to watch Tracy on my phone and have the camera going so I can hear if the alarms go off. So I'm able to work outside. You're killing me. I'm able to work outside and help and do things because Christy's here, and if anything happens, she calls me, I come running in. So, she's a great babysitter for me. So I love that.
Called you up like, pow!
Stop it.
All right, we have Mark Hinshaw for $20. Says, LOL, you guys are the best. Don't ever change. Surely will
Okay,
not.
thank you. All right, there's a couple things here I gotta speak upon. I can't find it, but Carrie said something like, "Oh, I hope to see you in Dallas." Science Gal Aquatics. Of course, we're gonna be there. We will see you there. We'll be at the same booth you're sitting, and this time, we'll talk more.
If he remembers.
Stop it.
Brain surgery and all.
Stop it. She was a sweetheart. She helped me out all weekend. She helped out she was running back and forth. She was doing this. She sat there and and I didn't know she was one of the YouTubers until she grabbed her signature cards and put them across me and put them in front. And I'm like, oh, she's a YouTuber. Okay, now it makes sense. That's science. Okay, I know who she is. It all just came together. But yeah, we'll definitely see you in Dallas. We're going to have a good time. I've got Why the Fish Guy's going to meet us there. Okay.
Everyone's loving this.
Why the Fish Guy's going to meet us there, and he's going to pick us up, he said, in a $150,000 Mercedes from the airport.
Show up like, pow!
So we're going to have a good time. Okay. Let's see if he comes through with that.
All right.
Okay, nope. What's it say? Ricky or Ricey 24 says, do you guys think it's okay to add fish to a brand new aquarium if you're happy to do the daily water changes until the nitrogen cycle is established? Maybe only half fill it to where it's easier? No, absolutely not. Listen, the best way for your cycle to I like a fishless cycle. You buy ammonia from the store, you can pour it in daily for the amount of ammonia you think you're going to have in there for the fish. You pour it in daily and you let the bacteria grow. Once the ammonia's all the way up and it skyrockets, bacteria grows because you put in some bacteria in there and it starts eating it. Once the ammonia comes down, it goes to zero. The nitrates jump up. Now a different type of bacteria has to grow. Once that comes down and then your nitrates start building, now it's time to add your fish. And your fish are not in peril. You can sit there every day doing a half a tank water change. You know what you're doing? You're taking this cycle that would take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and turn it into a 6-week event. You change your water every day, but you know what else you're doing? You're putting your fish in peril because they're living in their own pee. They're living in their own ammonia, their own poop, and it's decaying and it's getting record high. The only way for bacteria to grow to eat that away is for the ammonia to be high. you're lessening the cycle by changing the water. Not good. Please just do a tankless cycle, no fish are in peril, and then you can add your fish and stop adding ammonia. You know, I believe it or not, I've heard old guys tell me they peed in their tank every day. I'm like, get out of here, no way. But it is a source of ammonia. Same thing the fish will do. I get it, but, you know, let's not do that. But, you know, a fishless cycle is best. If you're already stuck in a situation, you know, your fish are in their own, you know, pee, and, you know, you doing water changes, yeah, it's taking it down, but they're still living in their own pee, and you'll probably lose some fish by the time the cycle finally comes around. I don't suggest it, but, you know, good luck.
All right, we got B-Type 13X2 for $5. Says, would you guys feel comfortable housing a pair of giant gourami and say 6 Oscars in an 800-gallon tank? Concerned the gourami will beat each other up. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's up to the behavior of those gouramis specifically. We've had ones
Every gourami is different, just like every person. Go ahead, finish.
We've had some that live peacefully together in, you know, a 500-gallon tank, and some that can't get it along in a 4,400-gallon tank.
True. It's different for every fish, so. All right. Now, Dougie says, less than 40 parts per million, they can suffer. But he said it was because his filters were too good. No. No filters create nitrates. They don't reduce them. No, filters do not create nor reduce nitrates.
They do create them. They turn ammonia into nitrates, nitrates into nitrates.
Well, this is true. What the filters are doing is nitrates is an end result. There's bacteria on your gravel, your walls, your plants, in your filter, all that. And it turns the ammonia into nitrites. And then when there's enough bacteria, we'll eat the nitrites and turn it into nitrates. No filter does this. So yeah, no matter how many filters you got, you're still going to have nitrates. There's no way around it. This is why water changes are a necessity. The only way around that is a denitrator, which we talked about earlier, which isn't very easy to do, costly to build, all that kind of stuff. The best thing is just keep adding plants. The more plants, the better off you are.
All right, let's get some more questions in the chat. Scuba Steve Aquatics said, did he say pee in the tank? I think he did.
I love that name. Scuba Steve Aquatics. Yes, some old fish keeper told me that. And it makes sense. It is a source of ammonia. You can buy ammonia from the store, you can pee in your tank. I don't suggest it. I haven't done it. But I mean, it is a source of ammonia.
What's that pee. One night?
Oh, it's not. Pee is pee, no matter where you get it from. It's ammonia.
So we have Terry Brooks says, where'd you get the albino gar?
The two of them? Or the ones in the 2200?
There's only one albino gar.
Okay, that has to be the ones in the 2200. We got them from Vincent Wu.
There's just one. There's just one.
Well, the other one's a platinum, but they look similar.
The other one's a xanthic short body. Or technical. The two in the pond are platinum.
Anyways, well, people don't know this, and they go, "Oh, I love your albino, gars in the pond." It's you gotta read into what they're wanting to say. Is it the ones in the 2200? Is the ones in the pool pond? Don't be so technical. All right.
All right, there's some debate in the chat about the nitrates in the water.
There's no debate.
If you have zero not in the nitrates, bud, believe you, but
You can only have 0 nitrates if you do 100% water
he
change.
said no, he said no water change, no plants. He sucks up all the debris in the water through his FX5 in a gravel vac, and he's got 0 not nitrates. Not saying I don't believe you. It could be 100%.
I'm saying I don't believe you.
But you know what? Let's move on.
Yes.
Good advice. What about if you want to upgrade your tank? Can you just move your filter, substrate, decorations, etc. to the new tank and move the fish straight over?
You can. Your tank, your new fish tank will go through a mini cycle. It won't be very harmful on the fish, but you can. You have all that bacteria on your gravel. You have all your bacteria built up in your filter. Don't wash it. Please don't clean your gravel and wash your filtration and put it in the new tank, because then you're going to start over from scratch with no bacteria. You want to keep all the bacteria. People say, use your old fish tank water. You don't have to. Bacteria is not in the water column. It's attached to things. Your decorations, your fake plants, your real plants, your gravel. If you have an undergravel filter, it's attached to the tubes going up. The inside of that, you ever feel that? It's really slimy. That's all bacteria. Your filtration. Don't clean your filtration. Don't clean nothing. Swap everything over to your new tank and let it go for a month or so. Try and cut down on the feeding and let that tank settle in, and you'll be good. It'll work.
Are test strips accurate? No! Bam! Pow! No!
They can be used as a basis,
in
you
a
know.
pinch.
Yes. I have used them before because I've gotten them for free. People hand me things. But I use the API, master test kit.
All right. Darren Schreiber says, would a trickle tower be a source of denitrification? No.
Trickle tower is a bacterial tower. Basically, you've got water coming in the top, trickling down through gravity-fed bioballs, lava rock, scrubbies. It's a biological filtration. It will eat the ammonia and the nitrates out of the water, and your end result will be nitrates coming out, going back to your tank. That is just how it is. What?
All right, I'm going to let you get this last question, and then I'm going to take this one for you. Any advice on breeding mollies?
Why would you give that to me?
Because I'm taking the next one.
Okay. Any advice on breeding mollies? Buy some, put them in the tank, leave them alone. I don't know. They're so simple. They have babies. That's what you buy a 10-year-old. You give them a 10-gallon tank and buy them a couple mollies. They have babies. They're just, the nature takes over. They're very simple. It just happens. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
B-type 13x2. $5 says, Josh, you had to describe your father as a fish. Which would it be? All right. A fish.
Wow. Okay.
What fish would my dad be? You know what? I'm thinking, narrowing it down.
Wow. Arapaima?
No. I know that's what you want it to be. But
If you say guppy or something, you're fighting.
between two, okay?
Okay.
It's between a pacu and a Johnny Gourami.
Why? Are you saying I eat everything in the room? Is that what you're saying?
Because you're big, you like food, and you want attention from everyone. You want to talk to
I
everyone.
do not want attention.
You like talking to everyone.
I do like talking to the crowds. I
And-
love people.
Where's Betty when you come in the room? She wants to greet everyone.
I'm a paku.
You're a pacu.
Wow.
All right, now he said, same question for you, for your son. So what fish am I?
Let me think here. You are the goonch. Sneaky little bastard.
I don't like no one. I'll bite your fingers if you get too close. All right, we got Reaper for $5. Says, looking forward to Dallas. Hashtag Team Tracy. Pow, pow, pow! I'm barely buzzed.
Oh my God. Anyone want to take a kid? I'll pay you.
And you said this wouldn't be a great word.
Wow.
Hey, James Hansen, no question is a stupid question.
Yeah. Please be nice, guys.
There is always, questions that can be answered. Some of us are beginners, some of us are advanced. So let's just
We'll
be
keep
nice.
a big man happy. Tillamook.
And we'll answer everyone's questions. We are all a family here, so let's not have the negative comments, okay?
We're all friends.
We don't
need
we all started with a 10-gallon at Petco at some day in our life, Things happen. We're all here to learn. Cody said I got a 55-gallon with 10 mollies and plants and a few snails, just not breeding as much. I would say put a few more plants in there, make them feel a little bit more at home. Make sure their water's good, get on your normal water change schedule, and then it's just time. And your mollies will take over. They are live bears, so you'll see them get a big old fat tummy, and then they'll release the babies, and soon before you know it, you'll have hundreds of mollies in that 55-gallon. Yes, Jay Swerve with the comment of the year said, hey man, might be someone new to the hobby. Why bash them for a question? Exactly. Positivity.
Dude, righteousness. Thank you.
Charlie's Aquatic Nook says, I'm a Paku. LOL.
You know what? We're all here as a big, family, right?
Yes.
If someone comes in and asks a newbie question, we're not here to shame them. Let's teach them. Why put them through the trouble that we had to go through to learn when no one was there to tell us? Help them out. I love that.
Always. Okay. Almighty Great One says, hi, status of the TV show.
I don't know.
Have not heard nothing.
They gave us a $10,000 signing bonus. Didn't give us the $10,000. We signed the contracts because they were supposed to come out and start videoing, but COVID hit, and then no one's coming out to video because COVID and blah 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 and this and that. And no one knows now. Now the company got bought out by somebody else, and I have no idea. I have no idea.
Favorite cichlid?
Wait. Ow. I'm sorry. I'm a Paku. I'm biting everything. Yeah.
Put on my goose, right? Okay, we got Charlie's Aquatic Nook, $5. Say a rest in peace for my Aranda goldfish. Had to send him to fish heaven. He was the fish that got me into the hobby, so it sucked. R.I.P. Gil.
Rest in peace, Gil. When is the Dallas show? And during Halloween.
Yes, it is on Halloween, actually.
Mm-hmm.
October 30th. Pete Walther says Josh is an angelfish.
Far from it.
As
He picks on his dad. He calls his dad names. He hits his dad.
as Dougie said, beautiful, but kind of an asshole sometimes.
Oh. I guess we have to go with that. Oh my goodness. What was it like to meet the guy from Tanked? I'll tell you what. Some people come here and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. And I'm like, I'm just some guy. I'm no celebrity or nothing. And that's the way Brett was to us. We went out to dinner with him after the Chicago show. And he was giving us food off his plate. Reaper asked him something about, I'm sorry, it was Liz. She asked him, how's your dessert? He's like, he hands her a spoonful. I'm like, oh my God. Nobody's like that, that's crazy. he was so nice and so down to earth, and he gave me so much information about my tanks. I found out that our snow globe was also used in the gumball machine. They dual purposed it. So the snow globe tank is also the gumball machine tank. 2 different shows. Awesome. Can you fix this one?
Well, we've got a few minutes left on the chat, so let's finish it out.
Okay.
Well, because we're already past the 8 o'clock hour, but you know, there's so many good comments coming in. We'll wait until Peter's out and we'll sign off for the night. Cody again said, I just seen the success of your guppy/molly tank, and I'm just getting in a smaller nano fish. I've had bit bigger fish for years. All love. Well, I hope it all works out for you, bud. And it'll be figured out in no time. They'll start breeding.
Can you answer this one?
Which one? Jay Sport says, hate to be annoying and repeat myself, but I have 5 rainbow fish and they're bullying my other fish. Would adding more reduce this behavior? First time owning them, thought they were peaceful. LOL.
Well, we're not specializing in rainbow fish, small fish, them are community fish. But in my experience, you put them in a bigger tank, less territorial problems. You add more of them, less problems, because they can't fight everybody to keep their space. Like cichlids, you have to add a bunch in a tank and they don't fight no more. You have just so many, they're trying to claim their area and then they kill each other. Got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. Either add more fish, add more hides, or bigger tank. You should be good. So we got another question here. Says, all your big tanks, acrylic versus glass, which one has more? So we don't have a single tank that's glass that's over 600 gallons.
We have the 1,000 gallon.
That's acrylic.
No, we have a 700 gallon Frontosa tank.
Oh,
we have a 1,000 gallon bass tank.
Those are outside of the whole
They're
thing.
bass. I mean, they're glass.
Wood builds, fiberglass.
My 3,000 gallon has a glass tank.
It's
Glass front.
That's totally out of the question. He said acrylic versus glass, meaning all acrylic, all glass, 4 sides, bottom, top glass.
You percepted that? Because I have a 4,400 gallon acrylic tank. Oh, it's all fiberglass with an acrylic front.
Correct.
I have it all wood with a glass front.
Correct.
3,000.
I will agree. That's not a glass tank. That is a homemade wood build, fiberglass reinforced.
Don't listen to
front.
Josh. We have acrylic 2200, acrylic 1800s. We have an acrylic 1,000 gallon.
Yep.
We have the 4400 is an acrylic front. We have the
FRP.
3,000 gallon is a glass front. A 700 gallon glass front, a 1,000 gallon glass front. We have a 540 all glass. We have a 450 all glass. That's about it.
Can Charlie's Aquatic Nug, $5. Can stingrays kill 4 to 5 inch fish? I caught my black diamond on top of my blood parrot last night. LOL. I had to spook her to get off. Can they suffocate it? Yes. They can sting it. They can suffocate it.
If they're hooding the fish, they're trying to eat it.
They can eat it.
Now we've had Josh's black devil cat was was about 11 inches long, and we had a 10-inch black diamond stingray. For some reason, it decided to stab the black devil cat in the side, and it poked his swim bladder, and air was coming out. Josh removed the thing and everything, and
good old silicone.
We saved the fish, but they can and will go after some fish sometimes.
So we got Ryan Bell for $2. Says, what's a good tank mate to help control molly population? Well, we do not condone this, but for instance, if the fish can fit in its mouth, it'll probably eat the mollies. Or you can call up our good friend Cody and give him some more mollies and let him breed.
Right. He likes to breed them.
All right, guys. So we are at about 8:05. It was a fun stream.
It was a lot of fun. Ah! Oh, God, there's something wrong with this kid.
I had to leave you guys with just one more. Last question, Paul Landers. What happened to your hair?
Well, I cut it. Actually,
Simple
the
answer.
nurse cut it today, and she brushed my hair, and she said she wanted to cut. And but the sides are like shorter than the top, and the top's pretty short. I can't even put gel in it to spike it. It's so short. But I tell you what, I walked through the house, I felt air on my head. I haven't felt that in a long time.
The most important thing learned tonight is rich as a paku. All right, guys. It was fun hanging out with you. We will see you guys next Friday on yet another installment of Stay Fishy Friday.
We'll be back next
Be
Friday.
sure to get your cups on the Teespring store.
Stay fishy, Cubs.
As always,
Stay fishy, my friends.
we love you guys.